Under the Volcano is a program that started in Tepoztlan in Mexico 22 years ago. It's actually a writer's residency. There's a lot of poets, fiction writer, narrative writer, and that brings a whole new perspective and fresh perspective on what we're actually doing, even though sometimes the journalist work seems to be really siloed and concentrated on getting a story. It reminds us that the writing and the narrative around it are also important. It's also really helpful to know that I can do it in the backyard of Tepoztlan.
This year's journalism program is probably our most ambitious yet. It brings 10 early to mid-career journalists to Tepoztlan in Mexico every January for 2 weeks of intensive bilingual masterclasses that empower them to tackle the complex stories they might otherwise not have the time or resources to write. It's all about digging deeper and having the courage to think bigger.
We're following basically the river through the mountain. We're dropping pins along the way in a map we downloaded previously on our cell phones.
It's really important for people who do journalism to be able to situate yourself in the place that you're reporting.
So we started here basically. This was the first pin I dropped, and then we've just been following it. And so now I can see a pretty clear trail of the river and where we've been walking.
Super exciting. We're gonna head back to our workspace and look at the satellites and what we've mapped and put them and try and figure out where we've been and where we were. And yeah, super cool to get to download stuff and get to learn a very common tool in a new way for sure.
Journalists and investigative reporters can use digital forensics and OSINT or open source intelligence methods to leverage in their reporting and tell better stories.
In class, we ended up taking everything that we'd looked at during the hike day, and we were able to feed it into this software. We took all of these little points, and we stuck those and we marked those.
Después de la clase de mapeo, estuvimos pensando cómo lo podemos aplicar a nuestra investigación sobre deforestación en la península de Yucatán. Lo que hicimos fue descargar unos archivos que nos funcionaron como capas sobre territorios ejidales en Campeche, en Quintana Roo, en Yucatán, y ver cómo se ha ido deteriorando con imágenes satelitales.
One thing I'm really excited to take away from this course is thinking about OSINT as a methodology and not just a collection of tools. Previously, I understood OSINT as a bunch of tools you use, but Gisela taught us that it's supposed to be an interwoven methodology with other traditional reporting methods, and it really changed the way that I think about open source reporting, and I'm excited to apply that to my day-to-day work.
Nos ayuda a comparar métodos, ¿no? Sobre todo, porque pues uno aquí en México sabe metodología a lo mejor de investigar en México. Entonces, al ver cómo ellos investigaron algo en su país, pues decir, bueno, a lo mejor esto lo replico acá, y viceversa.
I think in Mexico we don't have this storytelling mentality as much as in the US. In the US, you eat cereal, and at the back of the box of the cereal, there's a story of the founding family of the cereal. You know? So it's all really storytelling based. It's a society that lives off storytelling, and I had a really hard time adjusting the accountability journalism that I was used to in Mexico, which is a much more activist-y, to the storytelling narrative that will actually draw you in and make you have emotions, make you have feelings, make you feel empathy, solidarity, rage, sadness, fear. You're taking people on a journey.
Always think of your reader, and imagine your reader in the morning, because you're speaking of cornflakes, eating the cornflakes. Your goal is to make sure that the cornflakes go soggy, that they are so captivated with what they're reading that they forget about the cornflakes. And so, make sure that every paragraph is lively, it has all these elements, so that when you read that paragraph, you just want to go to the next one. And then, oh my God, my coffee's cold and the cornflakes are soggy.
The multidisciplinary element of Under the Volcano is definitely one of its biggest riches. Just having the opportunity to talk to these brilliant writers, poets, fiction writers, and just hearing them cope with the end of the world and the imminent collapse of the environment is not only interesting, but enriching to our imaginations and our craft.
I like to say that we identify, incubate, and inspire talent, but it's the participants who give the program life as they turn their projects into reality. By the end of the residency, Whole investigations have taken shape and careers are transformed.
A good writer observes the world very shrewdly, astutely, and uses their creative imagination, that lens, to filter the world through that. So when they're gone, when we're all gone and we're just ashes and ashes and dust, your art remains, and a person can read that art, experience it, and know the essence of what it was to be in the world alive at that day, your day.
El periodismo puede ser constructivo, puede comprometer, puede mover conciencias, puede mover emociones. Es una actividad civilizatoria y creo que hoy más que nunca está llamado a actuar en la crisis socioambiental. Por eso lo hago.